Well, good morning. Welcome to Prepping for Prosperity. How are you all today? I'm Steve Smith. I have something very, very exciting as far as I'm concerned to share with you today, and it has to do with one of our viewers, one of our subscribers, and a business that they are starting. It's going to fit right in to kind of what I started last week with starting, building, and running a business. That is such a wide spectrum of concerns. I don't know how many videos it would take or will take me to cover all of it. Who knows? We'll do it piece by piece, bit by bit, bite by bite, like eating an elephant, because that really is what business is about. You know, it starts with a dream, or it starts with a desire, and it should be a desire to be able to be self-sufficient, to generate your own income independent of an employer, and a dream of what you want to build it into, that this is something that is your creation, that is then going to support you and your family and build the quality of your life and your family, and perhaps even grow into something that becomes greater than you had first envisioned. That happens a lot. And then off of those out of that can spring other little side things. I'll talk about that later, but maybe not in this one, because it's a story of how I've what's happening with some of my businesses. But I want to talk about something specific this morning. It's exceptional, and I think you all are not only going to enjoy it, you're going to get a lot out of it, and it's going to give you ideas, and it's going to give me an opportunity to talk about how to go at things. One, I went down to the mailbox last night. I have been anxiously waiting for a delivery from Amazon, and I got a notice on my phone. I was at a family birthday yesterday evening, got a notice that something had been delivered, and I couldn't wait to get home, and got down to the mailbox and open up the box, and yes, there it was. Two things came, actually, but I'll talk about the other one later on. This is the most important thing. I got down there, and when I opened the box, this was in there. Now, many of you immediately know what this is. Some of you may not, so let me explain. I'm going to continue to hold this up. One of our subscribers, as a matter of fact, one of my subscribers over on the Integrative Preparedness channel, Sherry Fancoli, who I met, who came out to Kelly's soap booth out at the Olathe, Kansas Old Settlers days, and we met. She came by the booth, and we met, had a nice chat. She's such a nice person, and she lives close by to me. I don't know where. I don't know her address, but I know that she lives in the area. And she comments frequently. Well, she was very excited when I put in this channel, Prepping for Prosperity, because that is, she has the mindset. She wants to develop her financial independence. So she had said, she put in one of her comments about that she had put out a book, and I asked her about it. She answered, and I wasn't quite sure what it was when I gave her some advice a couple of videos ago. But now that I've got it, I was so impressed. And I'll tell you what this is. This is such an original idea that, Sherry, I'm going to ask your permission to steal it from you. I've been thinking about doing something like this with the Stonemont series, notepads and things like this, but I had never thought about something like this. I'm going to tell you all what it is in just a second, and then we're going to get into how to promote it, how to build it, how to think. And the great respect that I have for anyone who will put themselves out there and do something like this. So I'm going to ask your permission. May I use this as kind of a jumping off point? I'm going to do it kind of like you've done it here. I have a couple of ideas that I'm going to add to it, but if it's okay with you, I will do something like this with the stone models. So I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be, and when I opened it up, I saw the Brilliance. You know, when those of us who write, and many of you know that you know, when I wrote my series, let me get the other one here too. Oh, I have another. When I wrote my series, the Stone Moth series, an author gets down and tells a story, a very, very detailed, complicated, in many cases, stories that he tries to, or she, he tries to bring the reader into a world that they totally explain, that he or she totally explains. It's our responsibility to provide a story that explains the story, right? This is something entirely different, and the brilliance of it just knocked me out. What it is, I'll show you what it is. Do you see what that is? Page after page after page of lined blank pages. You might say, what's the brilliance of that? I'll tell you what the brilliance of that is. The brilliance is that it lets the owner use it for whatever in the world they want. I've already used it. I'll tell you, when I came in and I unboxed it, Kelly came in and I already had the idea of what I was going to do. And immediately, I have already used it. Right there. I often get people asking me questions on the integrative preparedness, or the Stonemont Church channel, or this channel, and this channel is becoming much more active. By the way, welcome to all of you. Spread the word around. Share this. Let your friends know about this channel, because they're going to get help from it too. And when I have a question that I want to get back to, if you can see my desk, I am one of those. I know where everything is in the mess. Okay, I know where everything. If somebody cleans up the mess, including me, I won't know where things are. So I have stuff all over the place. And I've been thinking, I need to get just, one thing. I need to buy myself a legal pad. It's been years since I've had legal pads. I need to get that to jot down my ideas for things that I want to get back to. Well, I've already written down the first one. I got a question from Don Parker over on the Integrative Preparedness channel, saying, what about the use of bicycles in SHTF? And if you all aren't familiar with SHTF, that is poop, but using the S word, hits the fan, the collapse of society. He left this question on my video that I just put up yesterday, I think, on the collapse of the healthcare system. So immediately I had something to write it in. Now it's all going to be organized. Let me continue with the brilliance of this. First off, whoops, just half a second. Okay, let me back up for just a second before I continue on the brilliance of this. As soon as I unboxed it, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to use it for that purpose, and then I'm going to order. Matter of fact, I'll do that in just a second. I meant to do it earlier. I'll do that as soon as I get done with this. I'm going to order another one for Kelly. It's very pretty. I'm going to order another. Well, when Kelly saw me looking at it, taking this out of the box, she immediately says, "Can I have it?" She was so impressed. I love the feel of it. It's got a matte finish. Anyway, she says, "Can I have it?" I said, "No, you can't have it." Very rarely do I ever tell Kelly that she can't have something. But no, you can't have this. This is mine. This is the first one. I'm going to write something in it, and then I did. But I'm going to order you another one. Now, Sherry deserves everyone's. First off, she deserves everyone's business. This is only $6.99 on Amazon, and it can be used for all of the things you need to keep your list or your thoughts or your journals or your daily, your diet. It doesn't matter what. You want something pretty to write in? This is it. It's only $6.99 on Amazon. And Sherry deserves not only our business, but our compliments. It takes a lot for somebody to have an idea, to sit down, actually put in the work. Because while you put in the work, take it from somebody who's done it many, many times, you are always in the back of your mind fighting this doubt that anybody will want it. Will anybody want this? Am I wasting my time? Am I being stupid? You know, all that. It takes a lot to put yourself out there. And she did. She put it together. She did the hard work of sending it in to you. You don't think this is hard work? Yes. Because the hard work was putting it together, sending the files, hoping that people would buy it, putting herself out in front of the world like I talked about the other day. This is the hardest part for many people, whether it's author or a builder or a candlestick maker, I don't care what. To put yourself out in front of the world and put yourself up for the world's judgment. And that's what the marketplace is. It's judgment on what you've done. This is why most people will never build a business. I hope that all of you do. I want you all to. I want you all to be able to build something that will allow you to achieve independence from this monstrous system, financial independence, and a good foundation for the future of your family. I want all that for all of you. But it takes a lot to do it, and that's why 99% of people never do, and they hide in a job for the rest of their lives, wishing and talking about, well, I wanted to do this, and I wished I had done. Stop the wanting and the wishing and start the doing, okay? So, Sherry, you have my compliments. Now we're going to talk about what I would suggest, all the different things. What's the market for this? And I said the other day, now that I've seen it, I suggested that she give some away to friends. Now I see it. Buy 10 or 20, at your author rate. Hand them out to friends. And tell them, because they have friends. Maybe they go to work and they'll keep this on their desks. And they write their notes in it. And the people that work with them say, oh, what's that? Well, a friend of mine published this. This is the greatest thing you can have. And everybody says, oh, that is so pretty. I like that. That beats all the sticky notes that I have all over my computers. That beats the ratty legal pads that I have. I can take this to the stores. And I want you to imagine, Sherry, and I want everybody else to imagine, someone taking this to writing their shopping list in it and going to the grocery store and walking down the aisle like this and seeing what they've got, and they put it over there, and somebody notices it and they says, oh, what's that? How pretty is that? And they tell you, they tell the person about it. You know what? Another potential customer. I'll tell you what I would do. I'm going to give some business advice right here. This applies specifically to Sherry, but it gives everyone else the seed to plant, to start growing the ideas of whatever your business idea may be. And make no mistake, having your own business is the foundational stone of financial independence. Sherry and everybody else, but Sherry, I would go, all the gardening clubs around, I would send one of these to the president or whoever it is and let them know that you have these for sale. And you can buy a bunch and let them, buy them directly from you. There's nothing wrong with that. Amazon gets you a world market, but dealing with people individually, especially something like this, is great. Not only that, but it helps you expand your base of contacts. And being preparedness-minded, you'll be amazed at the contacts that you will make if you put yourself out there. And I know that you do because you did with me. All the gardening centers, the grass pads, Suburbans, all of that. Can you imagine a display next to their cash register with your books standing in that display with the price on it? Can you imagine that? Here's where your real work comes in, and that is promoting yourself, marketing it. Making people know that it's there and making people want to buy it. And something this pretty, when they see it in person, they're just going to want to buy it. Okay? So think about all the different places you can go. Think about those gardening centers. Think about those flower centers. Think about the gardening clubs. There's a bunch of them around. You don't think all of them would like to have this to write their notes in? Think about church groups. There are a lot of ladies' church groups that might even want to sell these for fundraisers. Okay, think about places for fundraising. Schools. You think a lot of people wouldn't like this? I think they would, and the price is great on this. So I don't see, I could probably sit here and write a list. Maybe I'll use this book to write a list in. I could write a list of all the places that I think, independent bookstores. I talked about the rainy day books the other day. Half-price books. Anything. I can't imagine a place, wherever. Now, this is specific. This is obviously tailored. It's attractive mainly to women. Not necessarily that men wouldn't like it. I love it, but and because I know Sherry, but any place, I can't imagine there being a place that wouldn't like this. Okay, anyway, this is the thing. After your idea of having a business, you got to put yourself out there, and then you got to make people know that it's out there, and you have to make people want it. And making people want it is the marketing. And that includes the packaging. And then sometimes having to think for people. That's funny. You think that people would, because you sit down and you think of all the different things they could use it for. So you figure that everybody else think that too. They don't. Sometimes you have to do the thinking for people, or help them to think. Help them to think about the things they can use this for. Okay, so think about about that. And I might add, I said this the other day, add to your Amazon page all the different things that people can use this for. And you can put it in some kind of, are you tired of losing your lists on scraps of paper and things like this, and this is a wonderful way to keep all that. Or do you want a pretty journal in which to keep your thoughts? Do you want a pretty journal in which to keep the information for your flower gardens and the information that you find for gardening? All this stuff. There's no end to it. Building a business is and will be, for you who haven't done it yet. And this, make no mistake, this is a business. Writing may be the art, but the promoting of it and the selling of it is the business. And it's one of the most challenging, but also one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. And that is not just the monetary reward. It is a special feeling when you put your all into something for a purpose, with this idea of, I'm going to build something to support my family with. And I'm going to do it in a way that serves other people. And I'm going to do it in a way that gives people a good value and a good service. And I'll tell you something else. I was just reading the Bible earlier, and came across, I love Proverbs, as most of you probably do. And I just happened to open it. It's a great way to read Proverbs. Just open it. No matter where you go to, it's going to give you the advice that you need every day. Okay? I just happened to open it to the 16th chapter. 3 verses here, and you're going to see it. What's the secret besides your hard work and creativity that God gave you anyway? It starts, we can gather our thoughts. Now, I read from the New Living Translation here because it's easier to understand for people. The King James may be flowery, kind of flowery. But let's stick with the easy to understand for now. We can gather our thoughts, but the Lord gives the right answer. He will. You ask Him to direct you, you're going to get the right answer. You're not, when we try to figure things out, a lot of times we're confused, right? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? I can't make up my mind. We can gather our thoughts, and sometimes that's the difficult part, gathering all those different thoughts that seem to be flying all over the place like cats. But the Lord gives the right answer. The second verse. People may be pure in their own eyes, but the Lord examines their motives. Right. What are your motives? Are your motives right? Make sure that's it. And then the third, and this is the one, it's amazing that and maybe reading this, I was already going to make this video today. So, God works in mysterious ways, and it's interesting that He brought this verse to my mind, or to my eye. The third verse, commit your work to the Lord, and then your plans will succeed. And you know what? I might even suggest that when you get your book, you make that, which I didn't, but I'm going to add, you make that the first line in your book. Commit your work to the Lord, and then your plans will succeed. How good, what a great reminder when you open your book every day and that's the first thing you see. Anyways, starting something like this is so exciting. Everyone out there who is thinking about building a business can translate these things that we just talked about with Sherry's book into their own experience. Take this and apply it to what you're wanting to do. And you have an exciting road ahead of you. And I can't wait. We're going to continue to talk about this. We're going to continue to talk about this and talk about this and talk about this. Because I don't think that there's anything. I've taught a lot of people a lot of things in my life and enjoyed most of them, not all. But helping people become financially stable and independent and under the Lord's direction, because that's where the certainty is really something. And I'm so glad to have you all here as a part of it. You know what we can all do? And if it is within your financial ability, everyone should buy a copy of Sherry's books here. The Notebook. Everyone should buy this. You know why? Well, first off, it's going to be great. You're going to love it. It's going to serve you well. This is how we support each other. This is how everybody talks about. We got to support the small business. We have to support the individual. We have to do this. Well, yes. And then the next step is, well, do we? Let's do. Let's support Sherry in this. And I want to hear everyone else out there. I want to hear from you who are building your business or just getting started or have an idea. We've got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about all of it. And over on, you can find it on Amazon. Just in their search title, go to Flower Notebooks. Sherry Fancoli, Fancolly, Sherry with a one I at the end, SHERI Fancolly. I think I got that right. Did I, Sherry? And I'll pop up. For those of you who are with us already over on the Patreon channel, and if you're not, I invite you over there. I put so much extra stuff over there on the Patreon channel that you're going to get a lot out of. It's only $5 a month. It is an investment in you. And that's the first place to put your investment. And the link is down below. So just hit that link, come over and join us on the Patreon channel where you get so much more. And there, when I put this video over there, down and below and under the title of the video, in the description box, something like that, I will put the link, the Amazon link to Sherry's book. Sherry, I can't compliment you enough. Please let me know if I have your permission to use something like this for Stonemont, because I would love to, and I thank you ahead of time if you say it's okay. Guys, remember that financial security, financial independence is possible. Totally possible. And remember that it's in your hands and the hands of the Lord. Shall I repeat that one more time? Proverbs 16:3. Commit your work to the Lord, and then your plans will succeed. I have no doubt that Sherry's plans and hopes and dreams will be fulfilled. They will succeed. You all have a great day, and start thinking about your plans. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.